Hello, robotics. It's Mr. Chow-Miller here. How's everybody doing? Hope you guys are doing okay. I'm doing pretty well myself. Thank you for the work that you're doing. I wanted to show you a few things on your drag racer, and I want you to go through this video, stop it, pause it, check each thing I show you on your drag racer. Just because your drag racer goes vroom vroom doesn't mean it's finished. There's a lot of stuff you can do to make it better. So I'm going to show you right now what I have here is what I see a lot of people doing, and that is they've put the beam on, they've connected it with some pins, they've meshed two gears here, and they've added a wheel. So yes, this wheel is going faster than the motor's turning. But there's a couple problems here. First of all, you don't need all of this out here. So if you have axles, they should be just long enough to do the job. They don't have to be so long that they get sticking out here. That causes other problems with the rest of your drag racer. You want your axles to be just long enough to do the job. This is a number 12 axle. It's 12 beam holes long. You could probably get away with like a 5 or 6 in here. Same with this one up here. And another thing you'll notice is this wiggles a lot. And that's going to be a problem that you will face, but a problem that you can overcome with some fancy engineering and building that I'm going to show you in a minute. There's one last thing I want you to see. Watch this wheel as I turn it. Do you notice that it's kind of wobbling back and forth? That's because this axle that I have is bent. And a lot of these axles are bent. And the reason they're bent is because 7th graders have been using them for a long time. And when you make the tops on them, or you just try to squeeze them onto something instead of using different building techniques, you're going to end up with bent axles. Bent axles are not good. Imagine if the wheels on the car bus you drove to school were wiggling back and forth instead of just spinning around. That would not be good. So you want to check your axles too to see if you have any bent axles. So let me show you what I have over here. I have a drag racer. Okay, notice that it's got that slim profile. I didn't have the thinner wheel. I would have put it up front. And I didn't have the tires. I would have put them on these wheels at the back. And you guys are going to want to experiment with. These are the large ones with that aren't quite as big as the newer ones. Most of you grab the gray wheels with the black tires. Try the white wheels with the black tires. See if those work better. I want you to notice I've got my brick over my motors. I see a lot of people putting the brick up here. That lifts the motors off the ground. You want the motors to be making contact with the ground because that's what's going to force the drag racer to go forward. So let's take a look at this, see if I can pop this off easily. And I just put the brick up there. So here's what I want to show you. In both places here where I have gears, and I did 2 sets of gears because I also want you to encourage you to try different sets of gears. Over here I've got a 40 and an 8. Over here I've got a 36 and a 3. Okay, but if you notice, what they're doing is the axle that's connected to the smaller gear is going through 2 beams. And that's giving me a lot less wiggle than I had on that last one that I just showed you. So if you can figure out a way, and you notice I had to do some engineering here. I had to build some other stuff. It made it a little bit more difficult to figure out how to put the whole thing together. You guys have 5 days this week to do it. You've already used 2 of them. So you should have some free time to try to make your drag racer better. And by putting these 2 beams here, this green one and this white one here, and this white one and this white one here, that's really stopped the wiggle. So I've got a stronger drag racer. I've also put beams across here and here. That stops the motors from kind of bending in. They stay pretty straight and strong like that. The weak part for me on this is the connection I did down here. It's only connected by 2 holes here, and so this is kind of wiggly. So when the whole thing goes in the ground, it kind of pushes down. I got to figure out a better way to do that part. But I'm pretty happy with the way I had the brick up here and with the way I meshed my gears and put my wheels and the axles that my wheels are on between 2 beams. Also, you'll notice my axles aren't sticking out here. Remember, use axles that are only long enough to do the job, not any longer. All right, I expect to see some really good drag racers when I return. I don't want you sitting down and saying, I'm done, just because you have a drag racer. I want you to take these ideas and really try to make them work to improve your drag racer. Okay, thanks a lot, guys. I'll see you soon.